Hi guys, it's Allie. In today's video, I'm bringing you the Essie Fall 2016 collection. This is a 6-piece collection that I purchased from the Trans Design website, and I will have the website linked below. This is a little bit of a different setup. I'm sure you noticed. I'm trying to test out whether I like this setup for filming in the fall. I typically film after work, and now that it's starting to get a little bit darker earlier, I don't know how much daylight I'll have to be able to film after work. So I'm just testing out this, and I think I like it, but we'll see when I'm editing. I might totally hate it and feel like I need to refilm this, but we'll see. Anyway, let's jump into the Essie Fall 2016 collection. So the first polish we have is called Go Geisha, and Go Geisha is this really pretty, soft, dainty, muted pink. It looks like it has just a drop of like a mauve undertone in it, like a little bit of lavender and a little bit of brown in it. It's just, it's really pretty. Very different. I like this a lot. The first coat went on very even, but just slightly streaky. It does have a smooth formula. It is relatively easy to control, and it does get opaque in 2 coats. I got it opaque both in my live swatch and in my swatch picture in 2 coats. This had more of a satin finish. It didn't dry super glossy, but it wasn't matte by any means, so I would say it had more of a satin finish. And again, that is Go Geisha. The next polish we have is called Now and Zen. Now and Zen is a cool toned, kind of green toned gray. The Essie website actually describes this as a sage gray, and I really like that description. I do think that it captures the way this in some lights looks a little green, like a grayish green, but I do think that in most lights it's going to look like a greenish gray. So truly a gray. This one was completely opaque for me in just 1 coat, which is awesome. It had a thicker formula, but it was very smooth, very easy to control, very easy to apply. I was able to get this fully opaque in 1 coat in my swatch picture as well. And like Go Geisha, this one had more of a satiny kind of finish than as opposed to being super glossy and shiny or being matte. And again, that is Now and Zen. So the next polish we have is called You Don't Know Me. I don't know. Do I like that? I think I like it. You Don't Know Me. Anyway, this is kind of a muted turquoise. The Essie website describes this as a stony blue. If you think about, actually that nail art is really in right now. The turquoise nails with the black and the copper or gold kind of accents. That reminds me of this a little bit. This seems like a lighter version of that turquoise. That's why I called it a muted turquoise. This one had a formula just like Go Geisha. It was very even on the first coat, but there were some streaks. It was very smooth and very easy to control. It did get opaque in 2 coats for me, and I did note that during my swatch picture, when I was applying it for my swatch picture, I felt like it could get a little bit thick and chalky if you apply it too thick. So just be careful about that when I would apply a nice normal coat on the first coat and then try to apply a thinner coat on the second one, just enough to cover the streaks that were left in the first coat. You shouldn't have any problems. I did think it wasn't difficult to apply. I just could see how, depending on your application, you might have a little bit of an issue with this, but shouldn't be any problem. And this one dries a little bit satiny as well, like the past 2. And again, that is You Don't Know Me. The next polish we have is called Playing Coy. Playing Coy is kind of this, kind of like a rusty, burnt, really burnt orange. It actually reminds me of Taj Mahal. Taj Mahal was the orange in the Essie's Resort collection. I think that one was called Going Guru. It was 2016's Resort collection, and this reminds me of like the dark version of that. Like a much richer, is that a word? Much deeper, more rich version of that, more saturated version of that. So this one had a thinner formula. It was a little bit sheer on the first coat, but it did have very even coverage. It got fully opaque in 2 coats, both on my live swatch and in the swatch picture. I thought it was pretty decently easy to control. Even though it had a thinner formula, I didn't think that it was running everywhere and flooding cuticles or anything like that. What else? This one does dry more glossy than the last 3. So that's a plus. I will say this is one of those oranges that, depending on your skin tone, it will look different on different people. On deeper skin tones, this is going to come across a little bit more brown, and on fairer skin tones, you'll be able to get more of the true mix of orange and brown that I think they were going for. So again, that is called Plain Koi. The next polish we have is called Maki Me Happy, and the Essie website describes this as a crimson-like berry, and I would agree. It's kind of like a vampy cranberry shade. It reminds me a lot of a darker version of Very Cranberry by Essie. I wear that a lot during the November, like Thanksgiving-ish weeks. I wear that color a lot, and this reminds me a lot of that, just a little bit of a deeper version. This one had a similar formula to Plain Koi. It had a thinner formula, but the coverage was pretty even. Didn't have any major issues with streaking or anything. It does get fully opaque in 2 coats. Easy to control. It took me 2 coats for both the live swatch and for my swatch picture. So I would say it's a true 2-coater. And again, that is Maki Me Happy. And the last polish in the collection is called Kimono-Over. And this is a bluish plum. It is very deep. It is very, very vampy. It is so gorgeous. I really, really enjoyed this. This one was just the slightest bit streaky on the first coat. It really was almost opaque in 1. There were just a couple of streaks, I think maybe like 1 or 2 on each finger that, told me I think it requires 2. If you use a lighter hand, you might be able to get this opaque in 1, where you're kind of floating the brush. The last couple of times you go over your nail, you're floating the brush on top, as opposed to, a real paint stroke on the nail. You might be able to get this opaque in 1, but just, a normal coat on the first coat, a very thin coat on the second, and you're covering the few streaks that there were in 2 very, very easily. Not very hard work at all, this polish. Very smooth application. I don't think that this looks black in any lighting. It would have to be like the worst of the worst of the worst lighting for this to ever look black. It is very deep, but it's so beautiful. Oh man, that plum color, it is just yes, everything. This did take me 2 coats, both on the live swatch and in my swatch picture, so I personally do think that this is a 2-coater. And again, that is Kimono-Over. So overall, I really enjoyed this Essie fall collection, much more than I thought I was going to. When I looked at the collection on different blogs and on their website, I was like, I don't really see, this doesn't seem special to me. It doesn't seem overtly fall. It doesn't seem overtly unique. But now, holding the polishes in my hand, I do see some colors in here that are pretty unique. They're okay. And the formulas were pretty decent for Essie. Essie can be hit or miss. So I thought that all 6 of these had really, reasonable formulas. There were only 3 that were really overtly fall. That was the last 3 that I swatched and the last 3 that I talked about. And I do like these for the fall. These are kind of standard fall colors, so if you're new into nail polish, these will be a great place to start. If you're just looking for some basic fall shades, great place to start with those 3. These other 3, the lighter shades, I felt like are really, really great year-round. These will look good really from fall until like the middle of spring. I feel like these are great for that time period. They're really year-round shades, but I tend to go brighter the further I go into spring, and then all throughout summer I'm wearing, as bright as I can get it. So for me, I would stop wearing this around mid-spring, but they're year-round shades, so you really can't go wrong. In terms of unique colors, I thought there were 3, so half of the collection. Thought these 3 were really unique. The first one, Go Geisha, being that pink with that little bit of mauve in it, I thought was just really, really pretty. Really dainty, but not overly feminine. I think that little drop of mauve takes it from just being a feminine pink to a little bit more of a rustic pink, if you will. And then now in Zen, that grayish or greenish gray, it was so difficult for me to put my finger on what I wanted to call this, because it does look green in some lights and it does look gray in most. So I really like that one as well. And then Playing Coy, I thought that Taj Mahal from the Resort collection was pretty unique, and this looks like kind of the darker, more saturated version of that. And so, you know, I like this too. I think it's pretty unique, and definitely a good fall shade. In the viewfinder, it's looking a little bit brighter than it does in person. This is a really, really deep orange, so it's definitely more fall appropriate, not just Halloween appropriate, but truly like fall appropriate. So overall, you know, like I said, if you're just building your collection, then this is a great place to start with some year-round shades that work for the fall and some true fall colors. If you are a collector, you know, you can pass on this collection. It's not super unique, but if you want to collect more Essies like I like buying Essie. I like buying every nail polish brand. It doesn't matter what it is. But I'm always looking for good formulas. I just don't want to buy something just to have it. This is a good Essie collection if you're wanting to build your Essie collection. This is, you know, a good collection in terms of formulas. So, you know, you can decide what you want to do based on that. I hope this video was helpful. I hope it was useful. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give me a thumbs up or leave me a comment letting me know that you enjoyed it. Also, let me know what else you want to see on this channel. And if you haven't already, please subscribe so that you can get alerts every time I post a video. I'll see you guys in the next video very soon. Thanks again for watching. Bye.